What's up, Buttercups? It is the final Friday freestyle of 2018. I have made a few like New Year's style videos before, and I'm pretty sure I've always shared that like I'm not a huge New Year's person simply because I find it to be like extremely anticlimactic. But a practice that I have come to know and love, and I know a lot of you do this as well, is to choose a word, one word, for the coming year that will kind of serve as like a theme and an anchor, something that you can just thread through the different moments and decisions and choices, something that you want to honor and experience more of. Pick a word, any word. And today I wanted to offer a few really helpful questions that I ask myself and that I also very frequently ask my clients when we're doing this kind of work together, when we're sort of wanting to set an intention and make it as like simple and clear as just one singular word, because that can feel sort of overwhelming. Can it not? And maybe you're struggling with your word decision. Maybe you've already decided. If you already decided, definitely comment it below. If you're choosing between a few things, or you've never even heard of this before and you're just like, fuck, that sounds like it might be kind of fun, then this is the video for you. So, before we get to the questions, I want to quickly just clarify what the purpose of these questions are, and my personal opinion about the purpose of this type of exercise is that very often in life, when things are just happening and circumstances are arising and we find ourselves in new situations and we're just encountering new problems and shit's just hitting the fan, and also like magic is happening all around us because that's how life is, we can just get caught in this space of doing what we think we should be doing, or living it in a way that we think we should be living. Like, I'm supposed to want X, right? Like, I work with so many women who, you know, are in their like late 20s, early 30s, who are in this phase of life where they're like, I'm pretty sure I'm like supposed to settle down right now. I'm like pretty sure I'm supposed to like have a husband and with kids by now. And in some cases it's like, yeah, if that's what you really want, fabulous. In other cases it's like, well, hold up a second. Are you sure? Is that actually like what you want? Or is that just like society has inserted that into your mind? You know how society does with their brainwashing, and you think that that's what you should want. So even if you are a super self-aware person or you're very introspective, it's really hard to not get caught in the cycle of what I think I should be doing, what I think should be important to me, what I should be focused on. And what I like to do with this one word exercise is get in touch with what I actually want to honor in this chapter of my life. To not just like by rote, you know, live in a way that just checks all these boxes that I think I'm supposed to check, but it actually gets in touch with like my heart and for where I am in this specific chapter of my life and what's sort of needed now. It also is a good way to clarify if there's things that I've been like avoiding or missing in my life. I like to really use this exercise, this one word for the year exercise, to serve those purposes, to really kind of like bring me back to something that I know is really important to me, or something that I know I want to experience more of, but I haven't necessarily been honoring it fully. It's kind of like calling myself out a little bit and being like, hey, don't forget, this is important to you. So I'm gonna share my words with, my questions with you. I'll also share my words with you. I think I'm gonna do that in an Instagram post though, so make sure you're going and follow me on Instagram. Let's dive the fuck in. Question number one. I love this question so much. So here's the rules for these questions, okay? Maybe you want to grab like pen and paper right now and just do some like journaling, writing as I pose them. You can always pause the video, you in control here. I also think it's really helpful to close our eyes when we're considering questions like this, when we're in a moment of self-inquiry, because this is all about tuning into your inner world and getting in touch with yourself. And it's hard to tune into your inner world if your peepers are peeled and you're just like looking and thinking about like the dishes that you need to do in the sink or something. So maybe take a moment, close your eyes as I'm asking these questions. These are just recommendations. You do you. Question number one, you ready? What are you craving? What a yummy question, right? What are you craving right now? And really, with your answers to these questions, unlimit yourself. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to show this brainstorm or thought process to anybody, right? Like, this is just for you. So really like get in touch with your hunger in your life. I'm not talking about your literal hunger. I'm talking about your desire, your wanting. Craving, I love as a word because it's so much more like potent and powerful than just like, what do you want? What are you craving? What are you dying for? What are you like so just wanting to experience and sink your teeth into? What are you craving? Write it down. And write down as many things as you want. And again, it doesn't have to make sense. Doesn't have to make sense. Question number 2. We're moving through these pretty quick. What's been missing from your life? What is something that's been missing? This is one of those questions that kind of shines a light on the stuff, that we maybe don't want to acknowledge, that maybe like we've been avoiding, or usually when we're missing something, there's like a sense of like a little bit of like lack or longing or hurt there. Like it's like, oh yeah, I've been missing joy. I have been missing laughter. I have been missing companionship. I've been missing stability, focus. Like this really zeroes in on that aspect of ourselves and our lives that we could probably afford to tend to and honor a little bit more regularly. So what are you craving? What's missing? Do a little brain dump on both of those. And then when you feel ready, you can move on to question number 3. Super simple. What's actually important to you? What's actually important to you? This is very much a question that illuminates like our values. Like it illuminates all of the things that we care about that don't have anything to do maybe with what everyone else tells us to care about. There's things that your boss wants you to care about. There's stuff that your family is cramming down your throat saying this is what's actually important. There's things that your friends think are important. There's just the invisible inner critics in your head who have opinions about what's important to you. I want you to like zero in and think about, can be actually even really helpful to reference your responses to the other 2 questions, right? And to look at that stuff or sit in stillness and go, what's actually most important to me? If I got real still and quiet with myself, what really matters? And the nice thing about this is that we very rarely respond with like getting a lot of Instagram likes or like, winning over my boss's approval, or like, making sure that I don't piss off my friend who I'm a bridesmaid of. Like that stuff can take up so much space for us, and yet when we get still and quiet and we get clear on what's actually important, we realize all of that stuff, while it might be kind of important, it's mostly ornamental in our lives and it's gonna pass. And its significance is probably nothing in comparison to honoring what's really important, which might be honesty, which might be family, which might be health, which might be faith. Like these things that actually matter to us that we maybe mistakenly put low on the list, not purposefully. It's like very rarely on purpose. It's just life is happening to us and around us, and we're creating life. We're all just participating in this rad fever dream that is existence. And it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get pulled in different directions. And what I love about an exercise like this is that instead of being pulled here and here and here and here and here, it gives us a chance to go, ooh, North Star, that's what's important. My word, my one word for 2019. What are you craving? What's missing? And what's actually important? In my humble opinion, anything that you choose to honor in your life that you're gonna put front and center, it should satisfy these 3 questions. Like it should fit into your responses. Because otherwise there's a good chance that you are just kind of filling in the blank of like what you think you should care about or what should be a priority for you. And we have to be careful about shoulding ourselves because there's so much like judgment anytime that we tell ourselves what we should be doing or what we should prioritize. So I hope that you found these questions, this video helpful. If you want to share your word, 2019 in the comments, I would love that. Like I said, I'll share my word over on Instagram this week for New Year's. So go follow me there. The link will be down in the description box for that too. Also the link to my website, amyyoungcoaching.com, if you want to sign up for my newsletter or read more about my work in the world or check out my blogs. That's all down there. Like, subscribe, comment. I mean, we know how the internet works, right? Like we get this. I am wishing you the most beautiful end to 2018. I am so thankful that you're here, that you join me when you do, week after week. Whenever we get a chance to cross paths on the internet, I am, just like eternally grateful and overjoyed at the way that everything is always unfolding. And that you let me into your life in any capacity is crazy cool. Thank you for that. You deserve every good thing. And until next time, mad love.